Pretty girls work, pretty girls twerk, pretty girls pay for it, whatever she wanna get. Pretty girls smile, make it worth your while. 9 months later, mother of your child. Pretty girl sexy, compliment the next one. She ain't about the drama, good with that karma. Pretty girls play, every day she slay with it. Bruised up knees, off from thanking God for it. And she is me, I am you, we are her, walk the talk too. And she is me, I am you, we are her, walk the talk too. A slut anthem, a celebrity, work or play. A slut anthem, she say everything in her name. A slut anthem, she building you up, never tear down the same. Only the roof can relate, only the roof can relate.
Alright, y'all, we are back with our second special guest of the day. We have, I'm sorry for everybody out there, film. This is another episode of Big That Radio Show with Yuri Luve, a Milledgeville resident, native. Middle Georgia, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just say Middle Georgia.
There you
Milledgeville,
go.
you know.
Milledgeville.
I don't know, do people like claim Milledgeville like that though? I don't know.
They do.
They do?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Anybody out there who was listening now, if you're listening to the link that's been provided on Facebook and all that stuff, if you want to dial in, you can. 917-889-8041 while we're here. Still got like a good little 50 minutes of airtime. So y'all can ask Yuri questions if y'all have them. That's the way you can get through, and we'll get your questions. You'll be live on the air. But Yuri, for everybody out there, one thing listening, then people go back and listen to it and all that stuff too. But then of course, people want to go back and watch it. Give us a little background, like how you got started with singing in the music business.
How did I get started with singing? Well, I've been singing since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
Started kind of getting into it, like on the professional side of it, when I was about 16.
Okay.
I actually released an album when I was 16, just locally to see, how it would go.
That wasn't on mine, was it?
No, that wasn't on mine.
You know what? I was sitting there going down like, come on, you ever sit there going to Spotify? I'm like, Yuri, come on now. I know you got some more than music, but I think I did find where you did a feature.
Probably, yeah.
I'll pull it up in a minute, but go ahead.
It was probably ancient, but yeah. So, just locally to see how well it would be received, and it was, really like a learning project. It's the first one, so the quality isn't as great.
I'm sure back then you was like, oh man, this is fire.
Yes. Back then I was like, oh, this is the ish. Like, you can't tell me nothing. And then fast forward some years, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, so. But some people still love it, and I'm just like, why? Like, I don't understand, but. Some people like it still. So, you're still trying to learn your style, that sort of thing. I started doing my own songwriting when I was about 15.
Okay.
So, trying to tweak that and learn that to how to get that style going and connect with tracks and all of that. Then I took a break around when I was about 21, 22, somewhere in there. Took a little break, and I was like, whatever, I'm done. But it was just kind of like this nagging feeling that I still kind of have even today, that it's just something that I can't let go of. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a higher power type deal or what's going on, but I said, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna get back into it and just see where it lands. And so
this is interesting. What type of
yes, which I didn't know until like 6 months later, and I was like, what do I do with that? If somebody asks me.
The thing you can do now is just take control of it and be like, hey, this is how my grade is. It's not that.
But so yeah, got back into it, started making connections. Things kind of flowed very well to be like on an independent level, which was kind of shocking. Like I met a lot of.
Okay, so why was that shocking though?
Because on an independent level, it's kind of hard to.
Well, it's hard on a major level too.
True.
But I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
As far as like I've been around the block, as you can tell. So I know what you're talking about. But yeah, finding people who are really professional.
Yes.
Finding people who are not trying to like holler at you and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. These are women y'all get the most.
Yes.
And people taking you, serious.
Seriously, yeah. People that, if they do know that you're kind of a new and up and coming artist, a lot of people are like, oh, that's great, here's what we want you to do. So they'll kind of take you away from you, if that makes any sense. So it was just kind of hard having to battle all that and overcome all that and still stay true to who I wanted to be as an artist, and still be taken seriously. So, running into different people that could help as far as like the networking and all of that. So it's just one of those slow snowballs. And so here we are. So it's
I was just sitting there checking our correspondence and email. What did I send you an invoice for?
I have no idea. I didn't get it.
You
did. So I know till you know that.
But it's like, you say option number one, so I must have been telling you that I had different.
No, that was when I sent you the track last year, as far as like promotion or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Oh, see, well,
it wasn't that long ago, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying there's so much stuff or whatever. Okay, so, little background here, y'all. As y'all can tell, me and Yuri have been talking to one another for a good little minute. First time meeting in person, though.
Yes.
So
finally.
you get to tell that there's chemistry with it because we have this working relationship that we've had for over a year now. Yuri's song, I used it in an ad that I've been running on Making Dib FM because one, I just felt when I was creating this ad, I was like, what song really helps bring this ad to life? And her song, I was going through all the music I go through with independent artists. I was like, you know what, that fit. So then I sent it to her, and she was like, oh my goodness, that's wonderful, yada yada. And I sent it to the lady who paid for the ad as well, and she loved it too, by the way. So yeah, we been going back and forth with all that, and it gets played on Make a Dib FM. I Feel It. That's the title, the official title, right?
Feel It.
Feel It. Feel It. Oh, well, Feel It. Sorry, Feel It.
Don't feel bad. It's been given like 3 different titles, so I'm just like, whatever works.
I played that song to other people, and they're like, wow, that's really nice. I don't know. I sort of understand the compliment, but at the same time, it's like, it has like a little grain of salt to it because I guess people don't think independent artists can produce something of quality like that.
Very true.
Yeah, so I guess that's what it is. But yeah, that particular song, what inspired Feel It? I go back, I listen to the lyrics and stuff like that. I was like, okay, but I want your.
Yeah, so anytime I try to write a song, there may be snippets of real stuff, and it may not be. It just depends. So with that song, it basically talks about, a marriage, a relationship, and you're feeling it. It's in that good spot. You love where it is. You love where it's going. The good and the bad, it's just at a really good spot. One thing that I would hear feedback from people, men and women is there's a lot of kind of like male bashing songs.
Okay.
And so it was like, you know, they wouldn't even really give a record a chance because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, here's another one, male bashing, and the dude did wrong. And so I listen to people, you know, I listen to all the feedback, and I really wanted to write a positive song about a relationship.
Okay.
Where you're pretty much giving compliments to the guy, and you're appreciating the guy, and you're in love with the guy, and the beat just kind of made it this kind of poppy, urban type feel. So that's kind of where I went with it for that.
Okay. Well, I want to get into it here so people can hear it. On through the Breakdown Radio Show. Those who are listening. So if y'all are out there listening, dial in 917-889-8041, and I will do more live broadcasting. You know, I like blog talk, but I paid for it, so I might as well use it again. But this is with Yuri Luve. Feel it. So how can you shot a video for this one, or have you just haven't released it?
No, I haven't, not yet. I thought about it.
This song will go.
You think so?
Yes. Well, okay, going in, like, okay, you know when I was watching the Pretty Girls video? One, great video.
Thank you.
That's how it cost some money.
It cost a lot of money.
Okay.
I went like $4,000 over.
Yeah, I can tell this is a nice budget video. One, there is so many questions I have.
Please ask away. I knew that was probably gonna be a hot.
Android, technically.
Pretty girls work, pretty girls twerk, pretty girls pay for it, whatever she wanna get. Pretty girls smile, make it worth your while. 9 months later, mother of your child. Pretty girl sexy, compliment the next one. She ain't about the drama, good with the karma. Pretty girls play, every day she slay with it. Bruised up knees, all from thanking God for it. And she is me, I am you, we are her. Walk the talk to, and she is me, I am you, we are her. Walk the talk to, a slut anthem, a celebrity work of
Topic.
But I'm like, you know, when did I see Parker here?
Who?
El Parker?
Parker?
El Parker.
Yes.
Okay, so I did see her.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my soul sister.
Okay, yeah, she cool, but she's out. Like, how often do y'all talk?
You know what? It's crazy because she friended me. She probably don't even remember this, but she friended me like a year and a half ago. And I was like, who is this? And I went to the page. I was like, oh, okay, she fine. So, you know, accepted it and sent her friend, thing back or whatever. And I was just following her, like watching stuff that she had been doing over the months or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I ever do a photo where it's a bunch of women, or if I do a video, I was like, I want her in it.
Yeah.
So time rolled on and started talking about the video, and I was like, well, I want her to be in it. If she's not available that day, we're gonna have to move the date because I want her in it. So she was able to do it. We met for the first time on set. We had never met each other before.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I tell you, it was just, and she'll still talk about it to this day, but we were like two peas in a pod. Like we thought we were raised together by the same mother and father. Like it was just crazy. Like the chemistry was just, it was crazy.
She had really good energy.
Yes. And she added so much to that video, like so much. So yeah, so we hit it right away, and I said, you're locked. Like, they'll get tired of seeing you, because any video I do, or, you know, whatever, it's like, I want you in it, so.
Yeah. So I saw a lot of women in the video.
Yes.
How was that, like, the logistics of just doing that, and were they all compensated, or they were just happy to be in it?
They were all compensated.
You were that professional, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, I tip my head out for you. That's, like I said, that, I can tell, this costs money. This costs money.
Yes, it did. So 2 things. So going back to the money thing, I do believe in that. If I ask you, can you do something for me, or if, you know, whether it's a project or a song or whatever.
Alright, y'all, we're back live. Yuri is giving me this backstory to her Pretty Girls video, which, by the way, is phenomenal. Phenomenal. This video got a lot of money. I can look at videos and tell, like, a lot of independent artists, and this, I'm sorry, I'm about to go on a little tangent.
Okay. I'll sit back.
A lot of y'all be shooting videos. One, it's great. You want a visual concept to match your record. But two, y'all need to put some proper budgeting behind your videos for the budget, for the video itself, and then also to promote it. Because people want to be entertained at the end of the day. These one-shot locations or one whatever, there's no narrative in the video, there's no common theme, there's no storyline. All that, y'all gotta stop all this stuff. Stop doing those $250 videos just to put something out there. Well, people not gonna look at that. It's gonna be trash. And like your friends, you know what I'm saying, or your homeboys, homegirls, whatever the case may be, yeah, they'll support, but it's not about them, it's about the people that are actually gonna buy your music and connect with you on that level. So you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, and you have to do what's the bare minimum standard for the industry. I'm not saying you have to have, like, you know, $50,000 video, but the video gotta make sense and it gotta look like there's quality behind it. So I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna see if I can get, do you have the video file, the actual video file?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to
You want me to send it to you? Okay, I'll send it
so
to
I can
you.
incorporate it into the
Yes.
interview and let people know what I'm talking about.
Gotcha. I'll send it to you.
But yeah, because I'm like, this video, it has a lot of stuff going on, but it has a common theme. It has like well over at least 20-something people in the video itself.
Yes.
Excuse me, and that's just in front of the camera.
Yes.
There's people behind the camera too.
Yes.
So tell us how, or finish telling us how, you know, Pretty Girls came about as far as, you know, one, the record, but then also when you shot the video for it.
So it's funny. I have tracks, you know, you do the songs, you record the songs. When the project is almost done or at a good point, you start thinking about the videos, you know, which song would I like to put out, have a visual with. There were a few. It was hard because there were several songs on the project that honestly could have had a video behind it. So then that's when I kind of questioned, well, what kind of message do I want to send out as an independent artist, and to some as a new artist? What do I want to say as, you know, kind of like the first impression?
Yeah.
I am kind of that love-hated word feminist, so and for those that follow me, they know that I, you know, preach about women and empowerment, that sort of thing. So it seemed like Pretty Girls, the song, was a good song to do a video to, and then when I started running through ideas, it seemed like the most song that I could put a bunch of stuff with, like visuals,
Gotcha.
people, messages. If you go back and look at the video, the whole video has double messages, and I love that. I'm all about that. So it's never really face value. There's always an underlying message to it. And a lot of times that's even how I write my songs. So you're listening to it and you're thinking I'm talking about one thing, but then when you go back and really listen to it, it's like, oh, there's 2 or 3 other messages with it. So So the video came about. I was on Instagram. I reached out to a couple of videographers, compared prices. I finally went with this videographer called Cinematic B, Brandon Huntley. The chemistry was just there. I explained, kind of what I was looking for.
They Georgia based?
Yeah.
You shot the video in Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shot it in Georgia.
Cool.
The next one might not be in Georgia, but shot it in Atlanta. So reached out to him, and he was like, yeah, we could do it, and give me a date. I had another person that I met over Instagram named Corey, and I had been working with him for a little bit, doing some features, that sort of thing. And I was just telling him, just in conversation, I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to do my music video. And he was like, well, who's the director? And I was like, me, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, I know that, but who else? And I was like, me, what do you mean?
Me, I'm doing it all.
And he was like, no, you need to get Tim. And I was like, okay, who's Tim? And he was like, you need to get Tim Richardson. And Corey has done some videos before. He's more into the filming side of stuff. So, that aspect of it. And so I was like, well, if you can hook it up, link it up, tell him to give me a call, we'll see. So he did. Tim called me. I went through, kind of the same thing, my expectations, and Tim took it to a whole nother level. He is in the whole Netflix world, so he was actually on like Ozarks and all of that.
Okay, so his type of experience for it.
Yeah, so his creativity and all of that was through the roof. So he was the one that actually got on the phone and called like the gun range and the pole dancing place and the boxing ring and all this kind of stuff, and made it happen. So then we went through Instagram again, so for the modeling agency, and that was interesting. It was very interesting. I handpicked each model that was in the video because I didn't want, all of a certain type. I wanted.
That's what I liked about it too.
Yes, yeah. Like I wanted women that. You have some that are sexy, you have some that are, that natural beauty, you have some that are thick, you have some that are small, because, we're not all cookie cutter, we're all different. So I really wanted to portray that in the video too. So with the model agency, there were about a total of 7 models. Less than 24 hours before the shoot, 4 called out.
Oh wow.
So it was one of those moments where it's like, well, it's too late to panic now. I'm like, whoever shows up is whoever shows up. If it's just me, that's what it is. But the agency was good about replacing them. So by the time we actually got to call time on set, there were models walking through the door, and so it worked out.
Yeah. Well, it's difficult though. This is what I was gonna tell you earlier. With Parker, she, I met her a while ago. I met her I met Elle Parker through a friend of mine, Slum, and did an interview with her. She was actually my first interview. What year are we in? 2020, 2019, 20. I think she's the first one in 2018 that I did the interview.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that long. Yeah. But I know her before that too.
Okay.
So I think I originally met her in like 2017. I think 2017 or 2016. I might do one. We hired her to do, because I know she does the body paint. Yeah. To do body paint for Slum's birthday party. But anyway, fast forward. I do the show Cannabis and Conversation, and she was one of my guests. Yeah, so that episode is actually available, so everybody out there, Cannabis and Conversation, you can actually watch it on the Facebook page. Facebook page, Baked Out Radio Show. Just look for, I don't know which episode it is, season 1. It's like either episode 4 or 5. She's actually in 2 of them. One of them was her episode, but I allowed, because I filmed them all at one time. Yeah. Not all of them, but like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
So all my guests, I'm like, y'all can participate in the conversation. I have no problem. It's just that I just move them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if you go on a late night show or whatever, the featured guest becomes a guest who's closest to the host.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she was telling the story and stuff like that, but just or how she met one of her best friends, which was hilarious. But good energy.
Very.
You know, talks about all the different things that she has done, and you know, she's actually a professional model.
Very.
And that's what I try to get people to understand.
Yes.
You know, because even with, you know, your experience now and how long you've been doing it and the way that you go about doing it, one, I can tell you're professional. One, Yuri was here before her interview time. She's professional. So she didn't show up at the time of the interview. She showed up, you know, about 10, 15 minutes before. She actually got to watch some of the other interviews because she was behind the camera. But yeah, some of y'all out there, y'all need to stop playing with me. But no, I'm like, you don't take situations like this and just blow them off as whatever.
Right.
You show everybody that you come in contact with that you're a professional. That's how you get the best results out of stuff. And that's how relationships are, you know, founded, and people would do way more knowing that you carry yourself that way.
Absolutely.
But excuse me, going back to my, you know, statement, I'm sure you experienced this where you're starting to see people come into the industry that aren't so, you know, professional and things of that nature, and
all the time
don't understand that yes, this is an industry. Everybody wants to get paid and things of that nature, and everybody deserves to be paid. But in order to get yourself to a certain standpoint where, you know, those opportunities are coming in like that, you have to conduct yourself a certain way. But then also care about the craft.
That's
I
right.
can tell you care about the craft.
That is one of the most nerve-wracking things to me, because sometimes I think that I analyze it too much. Like when I get a track, I actually listen.
By the way, just so I know, I love the fact that you keep saying track.
Oh.
No, because I'm thinking in my head, oh, studio, you know, I see Pro Tools, I know. That track. Like, even it's taking me back to when I was recording, actively recording.
You need to pick it back up.
I am, but you know, I just.
The door is always open.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I get a track, like I listen to the track, I have to have a connection with it. Like it doesn't matter who it came from, who did it, whose name is attached to it. I have to feel connected to it, and I really do put a lot of thought into the lyrics. So it's a little frustrating when you hear a lot of the more popular songs, and you know, you can tell when somebody wrote something in, you know, 5 minutes on the bus, in the car, in the elevator, you know. And I'm just like, oh. So sometimes I think I put too much into it, but
no, because that's how we push the envelope forward.
yeah, it's true.
If it's not artist life for yourself, it's really pushing music forward. But then you'll stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Like your song, Feel It. When did you write that actual song? Like, do you remember what year?
I think it was in 2018. 2018.
And the song was still working now.
Yeah, 2018.
So
there's one on the project that is actually 3 years old, but you can't tell it.
Yeah, because your sound doesn't sound dated, but then you also don't write words that are dated either.
Right.
So you're not dating music.
Right.
But also to coincide with that, like I tell artists all the time that, you know, you can write a song today and you listen to it like for the whole year, but it's new to somebody else anyway.
That's true.
And then when you go to other markets too.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely.
So let's get a little to that, and like, you know, what you've been able to accomplish thus far, you know, from your professional career.
It's funny because I'll say 50% of the stuff has came across by accident. And by that I mean, like when I was getting ready to start this project in the beginning, and you know, I was looking for, you know, different studios and producers to work with, that sort of thing. I had one that I had worked with previously, and I guess, you know, got busy, that sort of thing. So it was one of those things.
I heard something else in there. No, I didn't be doing.
It was kind of like,
you too good to sound. It sounds like you too good to sound with me.
No, it's like, it's kind of like, cause this person, this person is very, they're up there, you know, they're up there. And I kind of use it as a learning lesson, because I'm like, well, if I ever get to that point, I hope I still, kind of like what you were saying, maintain that professionalism, you know, that work ethic. So it was kind of like, you know, you reach out to the person and they get back to you whenever they get back to you. It's kind of how it was. And I really needed to start recording. And so I started looking up other producers and stuff, and ran across this guy named Carl Hilburn, and didn't know anything about him, and reached out to him and was like, you know, hey, I knew that he had a studio at Periscope in Atlanta, so I reached out to him and was like, you know, I'm an independent artist, blah, 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 and I said, he's probably not even going to respond back, because that's usually what I get from, you know, kind of higher up people, but he responded back, and so set it up, whatever. It kind of dawned on me, like the day of, to actually look up this guy, just to see.
Make sure he fits the.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'm going to this, you know, this guy. I know nothing about him, you know. So I looked him up, and at that time, I wish I hadn't have, because it freaked me out, because he had worked with like Young Jeezy and Rihanna and Kanye, like when he first started, and I was like, I'm not them. Like,
so now you putting the pressure on yourself.
Yeah, it's like I was freaking out so bad, and you know, went there. The place was like a abandoned building. I guess they do that on purpose.
But no, because if you had something like that's actually one of my things that I would actually do. The aesthetics of stuff, I would make sure that you don't know what the hell's going on.
And you didn't. You couldn't tell it. Like from the outside, you would have kept on driving.
Just the board alone, right? A real engineer board, that's $100,000.
See, yeah, and there was nice equipment, like nice equipment in there. So you know, when I got there, I was shaking and freaking myself out. But you know, then it kind of dawned on me. I believe everything happens for a reason. You know, I ran across him by mistake because somebody else didn't respond back to me in you know, good enough time. So I was like, this is meant to be. It's meant to happen. So he ended up being, he still is, Young Jeezy's engineer, so kind of have to fight over studio time for that.
I understand.
So that, you know, and that's where that, you know, that professionalism comes into play, because I was the same way, you know, got there early, knew my songs. I hate wasting time in the studio.
It's expensive.
Yes, it's expensive. Time is money. I'm not paying $150 to shoot the crap with you, you know. So he was impressed and said, you know, let's keep doing this, let's keep working. So it ended up to where he ended up doing about 90% of the project.
Wow. This is an organic process that just kept growing. Though.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And he has a lot of knowledge. Like, he's been in the business, you know, for a long time too. So he would drop those nuggets of wisdom, you know, what to do, what not to do, and that sort of thing. So it was a good learning experience.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So okay, so can we get into what details for like releasing, or you know?
Yeah. So the next album is out. Will be out February 1st. It's a full album, not dissing no artists, nobody out there, but me personally.
You mean 12 plus songs?
It's 10.
Okay. So
well, yeah, I recorded. I think I blocked that out of my memory, but recorded. I recorded probably like, oh my gosh, probably close to 20 something songs.
When you said that, I could tell you're on your business too, right?
Yes.
I think you just had a flashback how much you spent.
I did. Yes. That's painful.
I saw that in your face. That's why I was laughing. I was choking over here because it just instantly went back to it was like a trigger.
That hurts.
But you can do stuff with it though.
Yeah. I gotta get creative with it.
Yeah.
Maybe resample it or something. I don't know, but that is like that hurts when you spending XYZ amount of money. You're like, either it don't fit the overall theme or it's just not quite where you thought it would be. But yeah. So we ended up going with 10 for this one.
Okay, so a nice solid project here.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it.
That roller coaster ride.
Yes, the ups and downs of it. Yeah. It's mainly about love, of course. Love.
It seems like that's a good fit for you though.
Yeah, I think that's what I have. It makes me sound weird. I was about to say, I think that's what I have most experience with. Don't take that out of context. Don't be emailing me and all this kind of stuff. But no, I think that's what I have the most experience with. Just being a woman, and then women we talk. So we go to each other about relationships or lost relationships or times where we're hurt or times when the relationship's going good. So all of that is in there in some form or fashion.
No, so what's the plan for it as far as pushing it or do you have any expectations of what you want to accomplish with it?
With the album? So of course performing more. I performed a lot last year and the year before that too. And it got to that point where people are like, okay, what else? We want to see some more. So I was like, well, let me take a step back from performing and do some more songs and stuff. So definitely the performing now. Couple more videos coming out. That's hard because I know how I am. I don't like the $250 music videos, so it's gonna be hard. But
look, I'd say it's all well worth it because your demeanor and just your talent level. You don't compromise your talent like that.
That's true. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Do not compromise your talent like that because even listening to this, hold on, let me see if I can find that song real quick. I was on Spotify.
Which song?
Okay, you did a thing with Paradise Shift? Is that what you said?
Yes. So I don't know how much time we got, but yeah.
Well, I have more SIM cards. This I'm not worried about.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm worried about. If that red dot right there disappear, I got another SIM card. We go right into it again.
Oh,
so
okay.
whenever you get, what I'm saying.
So that was also another accident, kind of.
Everybody's accidents. You take out some insurance policies.
I know, right? Oh, so I had this show. It was over in. It was somewhere in Clayton County, somewhere. Anyway, I had this show. It was just one of those days where it was just nothing was going right. I'm running around like I'm crazy, and I literally had that thought where I was like, "Screw this! This is not working. It's not worth it. Bump it." I had that little nudge again, and I was like, "Oh." So I got on stage. You're performing and. Deep inside, I'm pissed off because there's a bunch of other stuff going on. So I get off the stage and people start running towards me, and I was like, "Whoa!" That was my first words. And they're like, "Oh, so good." Blah, 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 blah. So in the audience was this group called Projects to Mansions, and So their main founder, whatever, walked over and introduced herself and, you know, getting to know each other. So long story short, we had been networking. They had a few kind of like industry night things where they lived. And so I went there, networking, that sort of thing. And they are well on their way also. And how they do with songs is they have different features and that sort of thing. And they have so many talented people, and so they'll just record just nonstop, different people, them, features. So they'll do like well over 100 and something songs, and out of those 100 and something songs is, you know, whatever floats to the top, whatever, you know, whatever works. So I found out 48 hours before they dropped their album that they picked the featured song, one of the songs that I had did for them. I recorded like 3 for them. Yeah, so I was shocked because they're pretty cutthroat as far as that's concerned. So
what's that? It shows like the talent level that you have.
Yeah.
And in songwriting too, though.
Yeah.
You know, because not only you have great vocals, right?
Thank you.
But you also got a pen too. You know, you're the one that, you know, people try to find. I don't know if people like tell you that or whatever.
No, they don't.
No, for real. You're the type of artist that people, like real executives and real people who want to sign and like help push people out there and get their careers even, you know, either off the ground or even higher.
Yeah.
The one that can actually write and sing. Sometimes, you know, you get the ones that are great singers,
And then
but
writing.
the writing's just not there.
And
Or you
that-
got ones that are great writers and like you just okay singers.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. And that reminded me too. This was last year, and it's kind of like this networking music thing program. I don't know what you want to call it, but you actually sit in front of an executive A&R or executive director of one of the major labels. I'm not gonna say how many times I did it, but
They sharpen your skill set though.
it does, because you know each year you're doing something you hope to be growing or improving, and so that's that. They don't know you, they don't have to like you. That's their honest, cutthroat feedback. So the last time was with Sammy Scott from Atlantic Records, and I was all hyped up because I was like, this is a woman, like it's a female that's you know in that position, and
So she's even more cutthroat.
yeah, because I was gonna say, like, when I was sitting, you know, you have to perform and all this kind of stuff in front of them, and the whole time, like, she didn't crack a smile.
Yeah.
She didn't, you know, it wasn't no, you know, bobbing of the head, like, you know, they feel it, nothing. It was just, she was just very stone faced. Yeah. And so when I got through, she was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, you know, do you want to be a singer? Do you want to be a songwriter? And I was like, well, I both. You know, but I know longevity wise and money wise, you know, the money is in songwriting.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm fine with that. And so she is supposed to be, you know, making some additional connections with that, and I was just grateful for the opportunity. So again, you know, going back to that professionalism, being humble enough, because you know, I never walk into a room, an interview, anything where I'm just like, I know it all. I always feel like I can learn something from anybody, good or bad. So it's baby steps.
Yeah, I like that. One, I like that, you know, you've done other interviews, so it makes my interviewing you, I get to go more to the creative side of interviewing then. As opposed to, you know, try to get a build up. Because you already answered like a lot of stuff I would have done. No, I'm saying like in your answer. No, that's good. No, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let me tell you this. It's bad for those who just go through the motion of like, because you know, you ran into them. I'm sure you have. There are some people who do interviews out there who are just trying to build a name for themselves.
That too.
Yeah, so the interview process is like, why am I here? I can't wait till this is over. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, I just get over the table. Here you go.
But I don't do this for that. I've never have. That's why I stick with independent artists.
Yeah.
One, because a lot of them, they don't have platforms.
That's true.
Or they don't have access to platforms that would like help put them out there. So I was like, why not build my own? So like February 9th, my daughter's birthday, will be 4 years that I've been doing a Banked Out radio show.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So I started on my daughter's birthday. I was like, I just wanted to do something significant. So I did my first episode. Now it's grown into all this or whatever, but it was just here.
Yeah.
And audio only. Even with that though, I got it built up to where, like you saw, the emails from Jamaica and I got from Australia and Germany and all these other people. Africa, places in there, and had built up, and I can go in like, if I wasn't in here, I could show you like analytics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then it graduated to the video portion when I kept meeting people and, okay, so you do videography work, cool, come on, let's get this together. You do this, I do this, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, yeah. Build. So now it's just like out there all over. And like I've been looking at different things and where I could actually shape it up even more and give a good experience. Like I had a guy, I did his interview last year, but I'm like, we're not that far into 2020, so
I know.
Yeah, just see so. But actually, you know what? I did his interview last decade. I did the interview last decade. But yeah, I did it at a place in McDonald that I have cook shop products in. That's we get into all that. I got 4 businesses, 4 real businesses. But yeah, so I use a lady's location on Mondays to interview people who live in Atlanta because I wanted to come up towards Atlanta some more, but I didn't want it to be where, like, one, I'm trying to find locations and all that, and then 2, people not taking it seriously because no matter what city you live in, just because Metro Atlanta is bigger than Metro Macon, which I don't understand why people compare it to, it makes no logical sense whatsoever. But there are still people there who jump into stuff who do not do things seriously as well, and like you have to filter out, everybody. So she allowed me to use her space. So there's one guy, Jarrell Colvin. He has Colvin Gaming Lanes that him and his wife started. Like bingo, spades, all that stuff. He puts a whole new twist on it. So he came, did the interview. First of all, his interview I loved it. I told him it was fantastic. He was wearing a top hat in his interview.
Oh my gosh. Playing a part.
I filmed that interview, that was back in November or December, something like that. Like I said, I have, like, even in this interview, I have like 7 interviews in front of it, so forgive me if it doesn't come out until like February something.
That's fine.
But like when it comes out, people will love it. So I just did his interview. I just got through editing and sent it like 2-3 days ago.
Oh wow.
I'm getting to the point I'm saying this. That interview right there got like over 300 something views already.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I know people tune in now. Some people have a built-in fan base as well. Which is great because my fan base, their fan base, we all win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's why I started the platform to build something to where I've had people come on and they got like instant fans, or they sold T-shirts, and before they left, people were hitting them up on Twitter and all that stuff and having sales before they left.
Wow.
So yeah, but the fact that I haven't been consistent with the audio portion live. The last, because I just got tired of it, and I was like, you know what, I just put up the videos and people love it, but then when I go and look at my analytics for Facebook, the page, I don't know if you've seen it or whatever, but the Facebook page has 11,000 followers.
I saw that. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. No pressure, but okay.
But no, your daughter's like, I would expect, like, every time I see you something, I expect you to ride, you know what I'm saying? I
receive that.
You got that type of mentality about you and just aura. So yeah, so then I started like I have the YouTube page as well, but I was like, I've been playing around that thing now. Every other day there's a new subscriber. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm up like 40 something now, which is an accomplishment for me because this time last year I think I only had like 20 something subscribers. So I'm like, you know what? I done done lots of programs. I have not done anything.
There you go.
I've been just consistently uploading videos.
There you go.
So I was like, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna build 2 platforms now. But then with the Making Big Bad Film, I think my highest last year was 38,000 listeners in October.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
it gets out there.
It
you know?
does, and people talk too.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah,
it catches on.
but I do want to dive into, like, you know, I love business, and I love music business. So let's get into that real quick.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to guess, right? I know you're affiliated with one of the 3 PROs, Performance Right Organization.
Yes.
Okay, you don't seem like a CSAC type person. So we're gonna throw that one out the window. Most
Are there
people don't even know
CSAC type people?
that. Well, you know. Yes, they are. I've met like quite a few of them. So
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So I'm gonna guess between BMI and ASCAP.
Okay.
I believe, you seem like an ASCAP type of person.
Ah!
You're BMI?
I'm VMI.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so are you BMI on both sides?
No.
Ah, see, I knew it. I saw some ASCAP in there somewhere.
Yes.
I knew
So
it.
ask him for the songwriting part, and then
See, I knew it. I knew it. You're lucky because you're a hybrid, right?
Yes. And I was like, why didn't I just do? Yeah.
Well, no, but I think, you know, keep it that way. One, because I've been to like city big conferences and talked to actually ASCAP people there, and knowing how the industry, you know, they're about to flush accounts within like.
Why not? Of course.
Yeah, they're about to flush their accounts. So we're speaking music business terminology here, so y'all gonna have to catch up. When they flush an account, that means that all the songs that they've collected money for that does not have anyone that they can pay it to because they're not properly registered, they just basically pay it to everybody who's in that in the database, whether or not it's theirs, because they have to hit those accounts to have to go 0. So they're doing that. But I say that you're hybrid because they will no longer allow people to do that anymore. They will not allow you to be a publisher for one, and a songwriter for another.
Oh.
They stopped doing that over a year ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like I'm asking both ways.
See, yeah.
But I get it though. You want your songwriting, you know, because you know the only difference really that I've see is that the board of directors. They both got their own formulas. You know, they both pretty much pay out close to the same amount each year. They both do, you know, conferences and stuff like that, and awards and all that. It's just that, you know, BMI is more professionals and corporate who sit on the board and they don't understand music.
True.
But the ASCAP, you know, their board of directors is made up of active writers and publishers. So so I can see that. Yeah, so you're ASCAP, we're team ASCAP.
Yeah.
Cool. So I can already imagine you manage yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, which you're probably at that point though where you.
I'm at that point. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, how do I do this ad real quick? Yeah, I'm at that point where I'm just like, I'm ready to hand it over. Not a whole lot, but
the great thing is that you've gone through all this, right?
Yeah.
So you know what you're looking for.
Yes.
And you know that, you know, somebody can, like, you know, rope a dope you, or, you know, pull the wool over your eyes or something like that.
And that's been the challenge.
Finding someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Yes.
Because all these other people are like, oh, I can be rich, I can do this and that. Then you start having a conversation with them.
And I'm like, I'm doing that right now. You know, so it's finding that person. That person is just,
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I definitely get it. You know, I did management years back. Back in 2000, what's MySpace still hot?
That was like the 2003, 4?
Yeah, okay, so
somewhere there.
Yeah. I managed a country artist.
Really?
And he was from Florida, but he had moved to Georgia, and he was in middle Georgia.
Wow.
Got his profile from 0 to like 3,000 profile likes. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because you still got that red dot right there.
Okay.
And like I said, even if that red dot goes off,
Uh-huh.
I have more SIM cards.
There we go.
Yeah. So everybody out there, there's less than 90 seconds. If you're listening live, sorry, you'll have to catch the rest of the interview when I post it. But yeah, but anyway, I was managing him, and I got his profile to 3,000 likes or profile views. Well, you know how my MySpace thing was.
Yes.
So then, this is why I stopped managing, right? Because it wasn't just even him; it was other people I managed too. Managed a rap group, managed a rapper, and somebody else. So I was like co-managing the artist with the artist. I did one of those too. But anyway, when I started working with people see a difference, like that know that person, or other people see like things changing. And it was like, oh, hold up, this person's stock is going up. So, but then other people see opportunity in that, and they start whispering in their ear. So I was like, okay, well, you can go keep doing that. And I was advising like, you go keep doing that. And you're like, look, one time I let you try something out. If you keep making decisions or keep wanting to make decisions that go against what we've already sat down, planned out, mapped out, here I am calling people and all that stuff, putting all this legwork in, then this shows me that you're not listening to me.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what he does anymore. After our agreement expired, it was about a year, I just let it go. And I was like, I'll take an L.
Yeah.
As a business
For
person.
a peace of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Peace of mind. I'll take an L. And I don't care. But I was one, he had a demo he recorded. I put it on YouTube, iTunes and all that. So it was selling on there. He printed up some copies. He kept that money.
Oh, wow.
I kept the internet money. But this is what I did. He ended up moving twice, right? He moved to, what was it, Oregon? All the way across to Oregon. I was like, dude, that's not the move. He's like, but I met this guy, and yeah. For the type of it was yeah. He moved out there, listened to some guy who at one time maybe had a deal with was it Emerald Records out of Nashville or whatever, and I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, whatever. He's not even in his industry anymore. He's truck driving or whatever. So why are you listening to him? So then he moves to Arkansas, because he did country music, but it was more of a bluegrass type feel or whatever. So he moved to the nation's capital of country, bluegrass country music in Arkansas. Did pretty good there as far as just going out and playing, but he's still building.
Yeah.
So at one time, one of my marketing things I did was I went and I bought a Yellow Pages, had it sent to my house, but for that geographical location. And I went and I had postcards done. I did 1,000 postcards. Had his information on there. Went through every 10 people in the phone book, wrote their addresses, sent it to them.
That's smart.
Yeah, that's me. That's what other people don't get. You know what I'm saying? Marketing is an art and stuff itself.
It really is.
So yeah, I did that or whatever. I'm like, this guy, people was like, oh man, they were hearing about him, right? So he kept just listening to all these other people. And I was like, look, yeah. So then what really broke the straw though was he accused me of stealing when we had originally agreed that I would get online sales, he would keep his physical sales. And I'm like, he was selling CDs or whatever. But then I sent this dude a $400 check to start writing, or to start recording, because he would play some of the songs. I was like, oh man, he wrote this one song called Gator. That thing was phenomenal. And it was just a guitar and him.
Oh wow, I bet. Oh, I love guitars, yeah.
It was just acoustics, and I was like, yeah man, you got to get in the studio and record that one. So he takes the money and spends it on personal stuff. So yeah, so that pissed me off. I got pissed about that. So then one day we was having a conversation. I was like, man, I ain't getting none of these iTunes sales and stuff like that. Because he had read some article like Kid Rock. He had pulled his catalog because he felt that iTunes was taking money from him and all that stuff. And I was like, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Whatever. What you talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, remember, I want sales of mine.
Yeah.
We made an agreement.
Right.
So
and
after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not just gonna deal with him anymore. So stopped talking to him and stuff like that. I don't know where his career is now. I'm sure he's not doing anything. But moral story, just do what you, all your agreements and stuff like that. But the crazy thing is, out of that situation, I learned again. But because I had done my job so well as a manager, people were still calling me a year later to try and book him.
Oh wow.
And I was like, hey,
see, he's missing out on his blessings. Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't know. I don't work with him anymore, so sorry. I'm like, I appreciate the phone call though. Like, yeah, man, I kept wanting the cards and I know. I'm like, I don't know.
See.
Yeah, so that I did that, and I also managed a rap artist, and he wouldn't really listen to whatever, doing the same thing, spending money.
A lot.
Yeah, which is crazy. Okay, so all right. Let's get into this way here. I feel like, you'll give your honest opinion about stuff. Okay, so from an independent artist perspective, do you feel a manager should contribute to your career financially?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like some slightly.
Okay.
Slightly.
I can resonate with slightly.
Slightly. I mean, minimal. Because majority of the work, like the real elbow grease work, should come from the artist. If you're really listening and you're doing everything, you're in practices every day, or you're in the studio, or it's gonna come back. And then that's how you start funding yourself, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so I can appreciate that perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Then too, I've kind of seen it where when you do have a manager that just pays out everything and does everything, a lot of times I've seen where the artist is kind of stunted growth-wise. Everything's done for them, so there's not that
accountability.
Yeah, he's like, let me help you out. Accountability. You had a flashback.
Yeah. I've been re-traumatized again.
Yeah, but like that accountability, that work ethic, it goes out the window because they're like, oh, my manager got me, I'm good. My manager got me, I'm good. I'm like, well, what if something happened to your manager? Lord forbid, but what if something happened to your manager, or do you know how to pick up and carry on, or what's the next steps? Do you know that? So, it takes teamwork. It takes.
Yeah, and I definitely get that, and I also tell a lot of any artists that success is however you define your success or your goals. You already earlier you heard my terminology for success, but it's ultimately you. It's up to you. One, because even if you got a manager, you got a team, and say like even if you got a company and you hire your company, you run your company and you partner with your manager, whatever, do it that way. At the end of the day, if money is being spent on the artist's image and they're being put out there, even in a bad contract, you can flip that to other opportunities.
Yeah, you can.
A manager can't do it. They gotta go find another artist.
That's right. The buck kind of stops there. Yeah, you're right. So it is, it has to be a knowledge base, and I think that's something that has to be an ongoing thing. I don't think you ever get to a point as an artist where you have learned everything, because it changes so much.
Yeah, it does.
The industry and the fan base and music in general. So that's, for me, that's when I take the time, especially on like Instagram. I follow some of the producers and people that have that knowledge base, and they put up 30-second clips about how to have the right mindset, what to do, and X, Y, and Z, and maybe it'll come into play one day.
Okay, so considering where you are in your career, all the stuff that you have done and accomplished, which is tremendous, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I say that in the fact that like with the videos and just the songs itself and being featured and being picked, when other people are judging your work in writing sessions, I'm like, I don't think people give kudos to that.
Yeah.
Because you're light years ahead of other people, even though you feel like you're
Doesn't
light
feel
years
like
behind.
it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Behind others.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should judge your career off of any other artist. Your career is your career.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can pick and choose like different things you want to implement, but your career is your career.
Yeah.
No one can tell you that you're not a success. And anyone who does or whatever, just whatever. That's energy you don't need to be around anyway.
That's true.
But how are you focused right now? Are you more like, still steering the independent lane, or do you have the aspirations of being on a major or mid-major or partnership deals? What are you looking for? Or are you even looking?
That's a good question. It's one that I have honestly asked myself a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can kind of foresee it going in different directions, really.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind being on a major label,
Mm-hmm.
probably as a songwriter.
I got you. The
And
opportunities to be able to song placements are there. Because of the opportunities of song placements.
Yeah, the song placements are there. It's more longevity.
Mm-hmm.
I love music. It's just something that I never want to stop doing. So as far as that aspect, I would like to do it on a major label. I wouldn't mind it on the artist side of it.
Mm-hmm.
If I could still be me. And I know that happens a lot, where it's like, oh, we're going to change your hair, we're going to change your look, and this is what you believe now, and no, we're not going to talk about this.
Then now you got this team of people that are telling you like how to talk in interviews, how to conduct yourself, how to stuff,
Yes, and I was just like, that is just crazy. Like that, at the end of the day, that's not me, that's you, that's whoever behind the camera lens or whoever the manager is. And so I'm not a big fan of that part, but if I was able to still be as real and as authentic as possible, then I wouldn't mind. But I do love the freedom of being an independent artist, because it's not as strict.
No, it's not.
You can pretty much do what you feel.
That's what I love about independence and not working. Like for the man or whatever, I get up and do whatever.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about whether this song is radio worthy, and it's just.
Okay, so I'm telling you, it's fired up now. So how has been your experience or your perspective working with like radio and even even like digital radio, independent radio? How's that whole experience been?
Independent radio has been great. They are pretty supportive. And then being able, as an independent artist, to do everything digitally yourself, if you're able to, that helps too. You get to pick and choose whether I want something on iHeartRadio or Pandora or so that's been great. When it gets to the mainstream radio stations, it's Fort Knox pretty much. It's hard to get in.
It is. That's the last step though.
Yeah.
I tell people that should be the last step. I don't know if people really, like a lot of people in this area realize like how much at the doorstep of all that. I have access to different servers that I don't even utilize.
Oh wow. Wow. Yeah.
Well, it's still even at that level, it's still a pay for play type of situation. You have a big budget behind something, and I don't have nobody. I don't have a vested interest to push people through that door. You know what I'm saying? And they, I don't see nothing from that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I have the keys and I open the door and I push you through it, then you get access to all this opportunity and space out here. And then I'm still
like, hey,
I'm back here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have not done it. I get it's in there in my emails every time. Hey, submit your programming for such and such and whatever. And even with making Bib FM and partnering with Indie Plug Media, there's some things that I can't say right now. that are bigger than what people might think. Cause you know, when people see like they see you independent artists, they like try to, you know, stifle how big you really are.
Yeah. Put it in a little box.
They try to box you in. And like people don't know because they, you know, it's not their business to know whatever. But at the same time, you know, sometimes I'll be open to like, you know, just stumble on whatever. I'm like, yeah, what is that really gonna do? Nothing. It's really not gonna do anything besides cause more animosity or, you know, people like, oh, they really hate me or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. That's when the negative Nancy's start coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, leading into something like that, when you really started to go professional with your career, how was the reception from your peers and your family and all that? How did they take that?
Like, how do I want to say this?
Oh, you can't defend them.
It's interesting. I think it's a common. It's not a problem. I think it's a common mindset. A lot of times people think when they come into, you know, the professional side of music or whatever, they think, you know, oh, everybody that knows me, they're gonna rock with me, they're gonna be at every show, they're gonna, you know, get 10 copies, and you know, just all this kind of stuff. It didn't happen. And at first it was kind of shocking because it was like, well, like, what's up? Like, I'm doing this. Like,
this is hard work.
I'm doing this for real. Like, what's going on? But you know, and I can't remember exactly who's. I don't know whether it was like Steve Harvey or somebody, but pretty much that is the mindset. Is like, you know, don't really worry about, you know, those types of people. You know, whether they're friends, it might be family, whoever. They might not support to that level that you think they should. And I know for me, like with my whole family background, I grew up like in a very strict household. So a lot of the stuff that I was into musically, it was just kind of like
it's forbidden.
The problem child. Here we go. So you know, that plays a part into it too. But I found the most support and it being highly received from people that I didn't really know, or people that, you know, just started, they wandered across me or wandered across my page or happened to be at a show or whatever, and they just gravitated. So for those people, it was great. You know, they loved it. They put the pressure on. You know, when's the next song? When's the next album? What you doing? What else you got? What do you know? So it's been good. It's been great because that was one thing I kind of worried about was, I was like, I don't even know if people gonna like this stuff. Like I'm putting, you know, like I'm putting all this money into it and doing all this stuff.
Just based off like looking at your Instagram, right, and going through it and seeing the interaction. I'm like, you posted the flyer for this, right? You had like 600 or something likes. I was like,
see, I didn't even know the number.
It's like I go look at stuff like that, you know, because it tells me the type of work you're putting in.
True,
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you got a nice following. Now, yes, I understand that it takes to get more, and I can definitely link you up with a girl named Tamara Bubble. I don't know if you ever come across her. She's from the Bronx, but I think she's up in North Carolina now or something. Or maybe she's in that area, whatever. But anyway, she's always back and forth. Like on I can't remember what her Instagram following, but on Facebook she got like 30-something thousand likes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she was she like used to walk around with a billboard of her album on her back.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'm telling you all these fantastic stories. But
that's dedication.
yes. One, I always told her, like when I came across her, I can't even remember how I came across her, but like her videos, you would love her videos. Because she shoots videos with the same concept as far as dedication and you know, getting that good look like you do. So that's why I can see it. And I have a homeboy, 38 Hot, who's in Atlanta. He put together back in 2018 in February. I'm thinking about this Ricky Dress Red Top Party. He put together he was putting together a concert of independent artists. There were just 3 of them.
Oh wow.
So he hit me up like, man, who do you know that really got like a following and stuff like that? So I gave him some names. I shot her name out or whatever. Now mind you, she ain't like either North Carolina or on the East Coast, but she always back and forth. She come down to Atlanta like, you know, maybe twice a month or every other month or something like that or whatever. So I had been communicating with her for like over a year. So like, you know, since you know with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like supporting and playing her music and all that. She sends her music and all that stuff like that or whatever. So I sent 38 her information, and she managed to send to. She did have a manager, but I can get it out. And that's her business, I tell.
That's another show, another session.
Another session. So he gets like Blackmail, who's a dope artist that's down here. Had his father's actually a independent artist who really was out there when like he had media play and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
He had records in there selling, doing songs like Bun B and all these other people before they blew up, Jeezy and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, so he comes from that lineage. So he has a good fan base too, because he's very talented. So it was Blackmail, 38 Hot, and Tamara Bowe. And she drove down from wherever, did her set, rocked it out and everything.
Wow.
And you know what I'm saying, that type of dedication, I finally met her in person. She was like, oh my God, I need to hug you. That's what she said to me. It was like, I can't just like dap you over now like that. I gotta hug you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, did an interview that day or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So we had like this whole concert,
Yeah.
independent artists at Old Smith's bar thing.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
It was dope. They actually got some good stages in there. You know, and like this was another thing too. Like they introduced the professional side or whatever, because you got sound check and all that.
Yeah.
And I already knew about like, you know, media or whatever. They get to, you know, come in there and sound check. So 38 forgot to one, I got there early. You got to put me on the list for media.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, I had no problem.
Okay.
I had the equipment and all that stuff, so they already knew.
Yeah.
Cause I'm media and stuff like that. Oh, come on in. So then like Blackmail had his photographer with him. It's like his own, he got her own professional photographer. She cool, but she didn't. I'm like, he's still learning, you know, at the time, and she didn't know. So it was like, oh no, y'all can't come in, only the artist. So I told her, I was like, hey, next time, you know, you gotta get with the headline artist, 38 put it together. So man, you gotta tell him to turn in his media credentials to the venue. That way they know. Because this isn't a situation where you could just walk in or whatever. It's an actual professional situation. Because they even had their engineer, the sound engineer, for the staff of the venue. You know, going through doing sound check and all that, whatever. So yeah, it was fun, and you know, I enjoyed it, whatever. But yeah, your energy reminds me a lot with hers, whatever. So I think y'all definitely would like to talk or whatever. But she does a lot of songwriting too and song placement. She got herself on like BET shows, VH1 shows, and all that, whatever. So
I need to meet her.
Yeah, I'll definitely look it up and y'all could, you know, make it happen and stuff like that. You carry that, you know, like I said, that essence or whatever of caring about the craft and all that. And that's why I tell like a lot of people, you know, I'm sure you hear it, but I hear it a lot. Oh, you can't make money doing this, and streaming don't pay, and all that. Well, first of all, you set up wrong. But then two, like, they don't know about all the stuff you're supposed to do. They don't know about the Harry Fox and, you know, all that, and registering with Sound Exchange, and even encoding their music and registering out with Nielsen, BBS, and Mediabase, and Sound Scan as well. All that stuff. And then just like, you know, going and asking these, even with independent radio stations, are your license or whatever, and you know, who you report to and all that stuff. Just doing it that way. They're just thinking about old traditional ways of the money being CD and download, and that's it. That's only source of income. When you have at least 15 to 20, then I can just, you know what I'm saying? Then like, you know, using the music for commercials.
And movies.
And movies and all that, and scores, and you know, it's a whole world out there. So a lot of stuff, whatever. So yeah. You know, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me have my 10 minutes. And,
No, you're fine. You're fine.
'cause it's rare that I get to run across artists that actually understand the business side too. And you know,
Oh, there's a whole
like,
other world.
it'd be nothing like to like call you for something like, all right, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, blah blah blah. We're going to such and such, and just can run through a conversation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you're right.
And
You're right.
we done. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the event just happened, as opposed to,
Why we gotta do that? Why we gotta?
I was like, really?
Do I really need this? Or what?
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Oh.
Wow. I'm sorry. Is there anything else you would like to talk about? Like, you know.
We covered a lot.
Yes, we sure
covered a
did.
lot.
We sure did.
We covered a lot.
I appreciate you for your time and making the drive. I'm like, 'cause you didn't have to.
Oh,
I'm like, you
that's
know.
okay.
But no, you know, I've had other people like, no, okay. I'm like, you
They're
know,
like, no, you gonna come to me.
yeah,
No,
or, you know,
you know.
I'm like, you know, I'll work with people, you know what I'm saying? I don't always try to make it like, I'm like, I'm like, you see all the equipment, I'm gonna have to look at all this. And,
Yeah. I'm like, it's easier for me.
yeah, for a person, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to catch your performances though, so I'm definitely gonna you have to keep me.
We'll
when you,
probably have, matter of fact, I just saw an email like 2 days ago
Mm-hmm.
to come perform. It's in Atlanta. Artisans
Mm-hmm.
Gallery Bistro. I might be saying it wrong, but it's in March. So I'll.
Okay, so I got this one question then,
Okay.
and then we'll go into
Uh-oh.
no.
Okay.
Metro Atlanta, right?
Uh-huh.
There's like different layers to this stuff.
I don't know what you're gonna ask.
No, I just want to know, like, when they inquire, right? They're paying y'all, correct?
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna just make sure you're at that tier where
Yeah.
you know they don't know performing for exposure.
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
So all the venues and stuff like that, when you performing, and those are gigging opportunities.
Yeah. I will do some.
But it's at your discretion though.
Yeah, if it's like for a good cause or, you know, anything that's like, I say like volunteer based, you know, something, then of course I wouldn't, you know.
Okay, so there are venues enough in Metro Atlanta to where you can like do performances and make a good little money gigging throughout the year. Okay, I'm just making sure, you know, because I be telling people that, you know, I
They
want
think
you to.
none exist or.
Yeah, because I think they go about doing it the traditional way, or they're always thinking about like just clubs or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta get out that mindset. There's a lot of venues that require entertainment and they actually pay. And so
Yeah, they do it now. I haven't done one yet. I hope I can. But now I've seen one where they have like, you know, more of the, it's not even really upscale restaurants and bars, but it's more of like that trendy kind of loungy type feel. Even now some of those type places will, you know, they hire entertainment, you know, so it's just a matter of going there and auditioning and that sort of thing and just making it happen. So
okay. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you had another question.
So where's the furthest, you know, your music has taken you then as far as like a performance?
Not far here, Georgia, but that's going to
change.
That is going to change.
Okay.
That is going to change.
Okay, so let everybody know the question, you know, we had you give me a lot of good time. I might even split this up into two. So let everybody know where can they follow Yuri Luve, the best, you know, way to get in contact with you if they want to do business with you. For those professionals out there who be watching this, cause they be doing it too and biting my style and stuff. But anyway, this is about you. Where everybody can follow you, listen to your music. How you want them to follow?
So the best and easiest way to follow me is on Instagram at Yuri_official_music. Yes, it's a long name.
It's not a big that radio show, but you know.
I know that's kind of long too, but yeah, I was like, dang, I could have went shorter or something. It just be complicated on some stuff. it's on all social media platforms. So Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, whatever you're into.
You got a website coming or anything, or you think you're gonna go into that realm?
You know what? I
It's a lot.
had a website.
Just a lot to keep up with.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It is.
I had one. I liked it,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of let it go because it seemed like at the time everything was happening through Instagram. Like I would say, yeah, go to my website, and they still go to Instagram for whatever reason. So I was like, well,
No, I get it, because nowadays it doesn't seem like you really need a website unless you have a huge following to where you're trying to just get something out of that for them to have their own interaction with something that most people won't interact with, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to give a guest, last words for like sayings or anything that you would like to reiterate for the people to know, or a mantra or whatever.
That's hard. I'll tell you what's in my mind right now, and it makes me sound like a pimp or something, but it's kind of something I've been going off of since 2020. So make your next move your best move.
Okay, well there you have it. Make your next move your best move with Yuri Luve. Y'all make sure y'all go support, go listen. Buy the album. You doing physical copies by any chance, or are you making it exclusively owned for fans or something, or?
I will
I'm
if
just
it's
a CD
requested.
I'm a CD guy. So
You're a CD guy?
I'm a CD guy.
Okay, I'll do
Actually,
some.
I do CDs and I do I'll buy people's CDs and I'll buy it from iTunes and all that or whatever, just so I have it in the car and I have it on the phone.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, so I've done.
I'll do some.
Okay, well, you gotta see, put the pressure on them, see?
Yeah, see?
Limited run of CDs, y'all get those, it's gonna be like $50 a pop. So make sure y'all support Yuri Luve. This has been another episode of Make That Radio Show. I'm your host, Andres. Go follow the page, Make That Radio Show on Instagram. Was it Make That _radio _show? Make That Radio Show on Facebook, YouTube, Make That Radio Show. And keep supporting Make It Big FM.
Yes.
The music gets played on there, so does a lot of these other artists. Y'all can always listen to Making Bib FM 24/7, makingbibfm.com, and go download the app if you have the Android, iTunes. The Apple phone is coming back to that store. Apple be tripping with apps and stuff like that. So it's coming back. Don't worry. All y'all who downloaded it, got your iPhone, it's coming right back. Just keep support your black businesses. Yeah, that's it. Yay!
Feel the love, I see it. Give it up, I need it. Feel the love, I see it. Give it up, feel the love, I need. Can't nobody touch this. You're the one and only. You're my baby. Drive me crazy. Got lucky one night. In love ever since. You and I best friends. Platinum women. Love it when we vibing in our two-seater. No competition. South of France, Dubai. Loving our view. You get mad, I curse, we fight, we forgive. Make up by midnight. No other got my back like you. Others flipped, held it down, dipped. Some others were missing. You never tripped. You stayed the same, baby. Never played no games, baby. And for that you will always be my baby. I see that love right now. I feel that love right now. Feel it. Ain't nobody touch this.